CCBC Essex for men's lacrosse action. This is game one of our doubleheader. I'm Aaron Thomas on the play-by-play here for you this afternoon and all season long, as we are going to start things off by introducing you to the starters here, starting with Genesee. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd like to introduce you to the game starters, beginning with our visitors from Genesee. At midfield, number 2, Josh Burness. At midfield, number 5, Henry Reber. At midfield, number 6, Kevin McParlin. At attack, number 7, Jason Chido. At midfield, number 11, Samuel Kaswaria. At midfield, number 12, Patrick Bilbrey. At attack, number 15, Alex Mack. At midfield, number 22, Andrew Forte. At long stick midfield, number 35, Matt Anderson. And starting in goal for the Cougars, number 13, Garrett Lazor. The Cougars are led by head coach Dave Hoover, who is assisted by Derek Hoover and Zach Bussey. And now the starting lineup for yours CCBC Essex Knights. At faceoff, number 4, James Chase. At attack, number 10, Joshua Shelfie. At defense, number 11, Brandon Strasdowskis. At long stick midfield, number 12, Hunter Weiss. At midfield, number 13, Kyle Christensen. At midfield, number 22, Timothy Ross. At defense, number 25, Hunter Privet. At long stick midfield, number 26, Colin Brown. At defense, number 30, Evan Clement. And starting in goal for your Knights, number 28, John Eden. The Knights are led by head coach Tim King, who is assisted by Ken Reed, Joe Buscemi, Russell Tuitt, and Jim Beardmore. At this time, we ask all that are able to please rise and remove your hats as we honor America and the men and women of the armed forces with the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Ladies and gentlemen, here at CCBC Essex, we embody the spirit of sportsmanship because it is an important component of being a student athlete. We ask that you please refrain from the use of profanity and let all spectators remain positive in cheering for their favorite team. Ladies and gentlemen, the Knights would like to take this opportunity to thank the following sponsors. MedStar Sports Medicine, the official training partner of CCBC Athletics. Madison Bank of Maryland, proud supporter of CCBC Essex Athletics. Visit WBofMD.com to learn more. The CCBC Associate of Applied Science Digital Media Productions Department, the official broadcast partner of CCBC Athletics. And also, don't forget about our Lace Up with Lax, ending homelessness one step at a time. March 20th here at CCBC Essex Stadium. Men's lacrosse action at 4 as the Knights will take on Finger Licks. And then women's lacrosse action at 6 as the Knights will take on Frederick. Please bring mostly black, new shoes for children, items to be donated to the Eastern Family Resource Center. Cash donations also accepted. Visit www.laceupwithlax.org or www.ccbcessexknights.com for more information. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have met the starting lineups. You've heard the pregame spiel, and we are ready to start men's lacrosse action here at CCBC Essex. This is my first game on the call here this season. It is an absolutely lovely afternoon for lacrosse. It is a little chilly out there, but if you're running around out there on the field, I don't think that should play much of a factor into today's game. The sun is shining, a little bit of a breeze. But right now is a perfect day for lacrosse. These two teams perennially, or usually in this conference, are usually two of the top teams, Genesee and CCBC Essex. Let's see if that holds up this season, as this is their first matchup of the year. The opening faceoff is won by Genesee, who are in the yellow jerseys, and the Knights in the home white jerseys. A little bit of a color clash, as these two teams have very similar color schemes in their jerseys. And a big opening right up the middle. Easy shot and an easy goal. First goal of the game comes about not even 30 seconds into the game. That is number 10 for the Genesee Cougars. He came in after the faceoff. That was his first action of the game. He came in, caught a quick pass. That was Zach Wade, and he finished it into the back of the net, top right corner. First goal of the game for Genesee. It's now 1-0, 14 minutes. Who had the assist? So an unassisted Genesee goal there for number 10, Zach Wade. Very impressive start to the game for the Cougars. Definitely not how you wanted to start the game if you are the Knights. That Cougars goal was scored by number 10, Zach Wade. So a quick possession there for the Knights, but Genesee's able to take it back, and now they're on the attack once again. This is a game where the Knights, probably possessions are going to be a little bit difficult to come by here, or let me rephrase that. Easy possessions are going to be difficult to come by. You're going to have to earn every possession you have in this game, whether it's at the face-off X or whether it's in the turnover game as well, because this Genesee Cougars team is not going to be a program that's going to give you free possessions. They're not going to turn the ball over. They're not going to come in here to the Coliseum and turn the ball over 20 times and give you all those easy opportunities at goal. There's a great save there in the goal from Eden. John Eden, number 28, in between the pipes there. They were trying to go for a low shot, the Cougars there, and Eden was able to get the big stick in front. As I was saying before the shot, this is a game that the Knights, they're going to have to come out and punch Genesee in the mouth. Right now, they're not doing that, as that is their second offensive possession of the game, both of them ending in turnovers. A good early test for this Knights team to see how they're going to play this season against some of the best competition. Like I said, historically speaking, these are two of the best programs at this level. Every year facing each other in the tournament, and the laundry is out on the field for the first time. We're going to have our first man-up situation. It's going to be for the Cougars. They get the extra man in the attacking zone, and now they're going to try and get a goal here. Great opportunity to get up early, 2-0 here. Historically speaking, this Knights team is kind of more known as a second-half team. And another good save by Eden early there. They got around the goal and into the front of the crease, put the shot on net, but Eden's able to get that big spoon down there and make the save. The first penalty of the game looks to be on number 20 for the Knights, waiting confirmation on, actually number 10. That's going to be Joshua Shelfie, 30 seconds. He'll take a break over there. Great opportunity here for the Cougars. Once again, to get 2 goals to the name, and they do. Not even 10 seconds, or excuse me, not even 20 seconds into the power play there, or not power play, the man-up situation. Been watching a lot of hockey. But not even 20 seconds into the man-up situation, Genesee rips off a goal, and they are now up 2-0. And the Cougars looking like they may be beating on their chest a little bit after that goal. There was some great picture-perfect lacrosse there, moving the ball around from side to side and then finding someone who had an open lane, burying that shot into the back of the net. I find so many similarities between basketball and lacrosse. Usually the team that works the ball around is usually the team that's going to get the most open shots. You know, you see that's what's made the Golden State Warriors so difficult to beat in the NBA, and Genesee is taking a page out of their book right now. And a shot low. They kind of go for a little bounce shot in front of the net. Was just wide of the crossbar. That was a really good shot there, taken by number 11, Samuel Coswario. I talked to his teammates before the game. They said Samuel is all the way from down under, from Australia. Long way from home, but hopefully he's got some family. Hopefully he's got some family at home watching this game. And now here is their first real opportunity at offense here for the Knights, working that ball around. I wouldn't say it's an absolute necessity that they get a goal here on this. There's still so much game to be played, but it would definitely make you feel a lot better if your head coach, Tim King, if your team could get a good offensive opportunity during this offensive possession. And they did. A good pass out in front of the net to find a cutting teammate, was just a little bit behind. But that was a good opportunity for the Knights. They just couldn't fully take advantage of it. Speaking of good opportunities, Genesee just found themselves in a good scoring opportunity, but the ground ball scooped up by the Knights. That's number 1, Camry Wilkerson. Wilkerson trying to find a teammate. Pass that ball to. It's on the ground. Scooped up by the Knights, though. Here they come. Not a lot of movement away from the ball right now for the Knights, which is interesting. Let's see what their offensive game plan is. It's kind of hard to have any kind of game plan against the Cougars. You know they're a sound defensive team. You know they're a sound team altogether. So you can put together an offensive game plan coming into the game, but you also have to know as a coaching staff and as a team that, yeah, this is the game plan, but you've got to be able to think on your feet, because sometimes the game plan in a game like this, when you're up against such great competition, sometimes the game plan is really just that. It's just a plan. You can't really stick with it. From behind the goal, here they come. Great defense. Middle. Here's a shot. Just wide. And a flag after the play. That's going to be a late hit on Samuel Coswari. He's going to take a seat on the bench, at least for a minute, I'm guessing, as this is going to be the first man-up opportunity for the Knights. And, man, it's at a big moment. This is such a big moment early on in this game. Down 2 really quickly. The Knights can find themselves in a position to get this game back to a 1-goal game if they can score here. Working the ball around. Oh, quick fake of the shot. Decided to pass instead. That was a pretty move. Getting the defenders out. And, oh, man, if they could have caught that cleanly. Wilkerson had a shot on goal if he could have caught that pass cleanly. But he did not. But maybe it's a blessing in disguise, as now the Knights are going to go up 2 men as some more laundry is out on the field to go against the Cougars. Cougars are already going to be down a man for the next 20 seconds and some change. They're going to be down another one after that as well. Here's Wilkerson. once again with that ball on his stick. Moving around. Right in front. Shot wide and high. Great move there. I didn't even see Joshua Shelfie as he came over right in front of the goal and the crease to get a shot off. So with 9 seconds left on the first penalty, is going to be another 1 minute added to that, as number 28 for Genesee on the Cougars is going to take a seat on the bench. 1 minute for slashing. Here they come, working it around. Wilkerson trying to go for the swim move. Shot, great save there by Genesee, Garrett Lazor. Lazor letting his teammates hear it afterwards. That was a tremendous save by the keeper there. Sometimes it's kill or be killed when you're in between the pipes here in Lacrosse, and that was a play for Lazor. He just said, I'm not going to be killed on this play. And now a timeout taken on the field. It's taken by Genesee. Timeout, Genesee. So the timeout is taken by Genesee. 25 seconds left on the man-up opportunity for the Knights. So Genesee trying to figure out how to kill that last 25 seconds off and then maybe put together an offensive game plan after that. It'll be interesting to see what happens. We'll come back right after this. And a quick restart there after the timeout, and it was a really good timeout taken by Genesee as they got a good play drawn up there on the sideline, and they were able to take advantage of it and not get a goal, but they are going to get an opportunity on the man up. It'll be an even ride right now for the next 19 seconds, but after that 19 seconds, they will... So 19 seconds of even play here, and then after that, the Genesee Cougars are going to go up on a man up. And, oh, nice defensive move there. I don't know if it was on purpose or by accident. Maybe the two players just got tangled up. And I think that's what happened, as Eden had to come out of his goalie post to try and make a play on that ball, and it ended up costing him as a quick goal by Genesee. That is now 2 opportunities on the man up for Genesee and 2 quick goals every time. We said before that they were going to have 19 seconds of even play, and then they were going to have a minute of Genesee being up. Well, no, that's not going to happen anymore. These two teams will be even after 8 seconds, as that is how much time is left on the Knights man up. So what a turn of events there. So the Genesee Cougars goal by number 15, Alex Mack, assisted by number 6, Kevin McParlin. That Cougars goal was scored by number 15, Alex Mack, assisted by number 6, Kevin McParlin. So Alex Mack, not sure if there's any relation to Alex Mack, the center for the Atlanta Falcons. Another offensive opportunity here for the Knights. With every goal for the Cougars, that first goal for the Knights becomes even more important. Do not want to let the Cougars get up big early in this game. It's going to make your chances of a comeback almost non-existent. Especially the way the Cougars have played defense so far. Though, that being said, the Knights have had a couple opportunities. You remember they had an opportunity on a Wilkerson dropped pass that really could have been a great opportunity at goal. And that one right there could have been a pretty good opportunity at goal as well, as the Knights had someone in the middle of the offensive zone ready to rip a shot, but the pass was just not an accurate one. The old saying, the pass is prettier than the shot, was very much true there. Here come the Cougars on the attack once again behind the goal. Now near side shot. What a beautiful shot. Man, that is picture-perfect lacrosse. The pass from behind the cage, the quick catch, and they hit it up on that top right corner. So there was the goal for number 10, Zach Wade, his second goal of the game. Zach Wade, early candidate for the hat trick club. Assist by Alex Mack. Alex Mack now has an assist to go along with his goal, and there's a timeout taken on the field by the Knights, and probably a good timeout. That Cougars goal was scored by number 10, Zach Wade, assisted by number 15, Alex Mack. So good timeout taken if you are head coach Tim King of the CCBC Essex Knights, as you are rapidly watching this game possibly slip away from you and your team. I'm sure I didn't get a chance to speak with head coach Tim King before the game, but I'm sure if I did, he would have said something along the lines of, this is going to be a very important game against a very, very, very tough opponent. And in games like that, it's always so important to keep the momentum, maybe not always on your side, but have it at least going and flowing back and forth. Right now, the momentum has been safely on the side of the Cougars pretty much since the opening whistle. Maybe head coach Tim King is trying to figure out a way to switch back some of that momentum onto his team's side. I'd say the best way to do that is just to make sure that you're capitalizing on the opportunities that are in front of you. And there has been at least 3 times that I can remember here in this game in the offensive zone, the Knights have had an opportunity and they just have not been able to take care of it. Now, take advantage of it, excuse me. Now, sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Sometimes you got to make sure the cookie crumbles a different way. Here come the Knights. Let's see what kind of offensive game plan they're going to put together here after that timeout. Moving that ball around behind the cage. Now the attack. Here it comes. Great defense. Wilkerson, quick shot, even better save. That's the second time Wilkerson's had that opportunity. Earlier in the first, he was not able to take advantage of it. That time he was. He just couldn't get the shot to find the back of the net. A great defensive recovery here from the Knights, as just a moment ago it looked like the Cougars were going to take that one coast to coast. And man, is that beast mode or what? My goodness. Number 34 for the Knights. Let's see who that was. Dakota Lyon. Put the team on his back. He got that ground ball, and he just went through about 4 or 5 Genesee players, all of them giving a little hack job on him. And he never gave up that ball. Great play by him. He's a gentleman who did not find himself in the starting lineup to start this game, but after a play like that, head coach Tim King may be thinking differently. Here's another opportunity. A minute and 30 seconds now on the man up. This is the best opportunity the Knights have had so far in this game. This is a moment that you would really like to see your team capitalize. Wilkerson, great pass, and almost a shot on goal there from James Chase. Chase was not able to get that ball off of his stick in time, and now, oh, nice move. What a stick check there. And that could lead to a goal. Shot. Oh, just wide of the net. But, man, what beautiful lacrosse there from the Knights as the Genesee Cougars looked like they were going to clear that ball out of their offensive zone. The diving stick check got them a brand new opportunity, but it looks like they're going to throw it away. Man, what a nice save there by Joshua Shelfie. That ball was going out of bounds. Would have been a turnover, but Joshua, all effort, looking like Dennis Rodman there making the save. Here's Wilkerson working the ball around. Long shot, and it doesn't even get to the net as that ball was deflected by a defenseman for the Cougars. Wilkerson, nice fake, wants to go back around. Underhand pass. Nope, that was a fake. Now he does go over to his teammate. Good ball movement here for the Knights. Joshua can't catch that pass. Bounced out in front of him. Not going to be able to get a shot off before they go back to even strength, but this was a very good possession for the Knights. Opportunities were in front of them, just couldn't make the most of it. Once again, now we're working that ball around. Knights, even though they're back at even strength, the Knights still with possession in their offensive zone. Down 4-0 with just over 3 minutes left here in the first period. Shot, nope. Long pass instead, shot, and another great save by Lazor, I believe that was Tyler Woods who had the shot there for the Knights. Great. Oh, man, great defense being played by both teams. There was a big check on the Knights player by a Cougars defenseman, and then a Knights midfielder laid a big check on the Cougars defenseman. Man, this is getting physical out there. If you are a fan of lacrosse, this is exactly what you wanted to see when you saw Genesee and CCBC Essex on the scorecard. You knew it was going to be a good game, and it's not disappointing. The Cougars shot good, man. Nothing Eden can do about that. That was a beauty. Just picture-perfect lacrosse there being played by the Cougars, working that ball up with the passes. I believe that was Jason Chido with the goal and Alex Mack with the assist, which would give Alex Mack 2 assists to go along with his 1 goal. Five nothing now here in the first period, and the Knights, after having the ball for about 2 minutes straight in their offensive zone, they give the ball up and just bang, 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 goal for the Cougars. So quick, so lethal. Almost like it was a lethal injection. That Cougars goal was scored by number 7, Jason Chido. assisted by number 15, Alex Mack. So Jason Chido with a goal. Now getting into the scores card. Another possession here for the Cougars in those yellow jerseys. Can't miss those bright yellow jerseys. Be interesting to see what the offensive game plan will be like for the Cougars if this continues, if the Knights aren't able to, get some goals and make this a little closer moving into the second period and on. Will the Cougars keep up with this aggressive pace that they've got going right now, or will they try and slow things down, take some time off the clock? It'll be interesting to see. That would probably be a big hurdle to overcome if you're the Knights. If the Cougars start slowing things down, working the ball around a lot more, maybe a lot more difficult for the Knights to get those easy possessions. Even though I will say the Knights haven't been getting many easy possessions in the game so far anyway. That was a very nice offensive move by Wilkerson, putting on a couple different moves to get around a couple different Cougars defenders. He was able to clear it, though, in time. Wilkerson's going to take a seat on the bench. He earned it. I've been saying his name quite a lot here this afternoon. 1 minute and some change left here in this first period. Here come the Knights. Thinking about a shot. They want it. Take it. Just high over the net. That was a very good scoring opportunity for Austin Wendett, the freshman out of Rosedale, Maryland. Not too far from home for that young man. Hope he's got some family listening to this game. Oh, nice move. Is that a goal? No, it's saved. That was very pretty. I will say, Evan Clement with the dive across the crease to try and get the goal there. If style points counted for anything, I would have gave Evan Clement a solid 10 on that one. Here come the Cougars. Long pass across the field, not cleanly caught. Ball's on the ground, scooped up by the Cougars, number 6, though. Nice ground ball scoop by him, and the shot. I looked down just for a second. To make sure that number 6 was indeed Kevin McFarland, and it was, and I missed the goal. McFarland with the pass over to Jason Chido, who buries it into the back of the net, and now it is 6-0 with 17 seconds left in the first period. It's looking like it may get ugly. That Cougars goal was scored by number 7, Jason Chido, assisted by number 6, Kevin McFarland. Dangerous move there as Eden was coming out of his crease area to try and make a defensive play on that. Doesn't come back to hurt him, though, as the score will remain 6-0 at the end of the first period. We'll be back with the second period after a short break. So it's been an exciting first period of men's lacrosse action here at CCBC Essex. Score is 6-0 after the first 15. We'll have another 15 after this, which will be equally as exciting, I'm sure, hopefully, if you're a Knights fan, player, or coach. There'll be some more goals for you, but right now it's 6-0 as the Cougars look like they're starting to run away with this one, or have the potential to maybe start to run away with this one. Though I must say the Knights have had plenty of opportunities here in this game. Well, maybe not plenty. They've had their fair share of opportunities, though. If they were able to capitalize on just a few of those, I think it would be a much closer game. We could be looking at something maybe closer into the range of 6-3 instead of 6-0. 2 plays in the beginning of that first period that come to mind was the Wilkerson drop on the pass where he was pretty open for a shot. And then earlier, Chase, the same thing pretty much happened with him. Chase was in the middle, ready for a shot, ready for a catch. All he needed to do was catch that thing cleanly, have that pass put on him a little bit more cleanly, and maybe we'd be looking at a 6-3, 6-2 game as opposed to a 6-0 game. Two teams are back out onto the field, and there's a lot of emotion out there on the field, very obviously. Two teams are fired up, ready to play here. First face-off of the game for the second period is won by the Genesee Cougars. Cougars really dominated the face-off there in the first period, which has a lot to do with why the score looks the way it does right now. Face-off is a goalie switch here for the Knights. I'm now noticing John Eden no longer in between the pipes. The only goalie that is also listed for the Knights is number 8, Nolan Kent. And Nolan Kent quickly tested and quickly makes a save. Kent, very, very impressive move by Nolan Kent, who's giving up some size compared to John Eden. John Eden standing at 6'2". Excuse me, let me make sure I got that right. Yeah, 6'2", 260 pounds out of Bethesda, Maryland. Nolan Kent, a smaller goalie, only standing at 5'8", 155 pounds out of Loch Raven High School. But Loch Raven High School, historically known as one of the better public lacrosse high school programs here in the state of Maryland. So Nolan Kent knows his way around the lacrosse field and knows his way around those pipes. So let's see if he has better luck than Mr. Eden did in the first period. Now in goal for the Knights, number 8, Nolan Kent. So long offensive possession here for the Cougars, almost controlling it for this entire 2 minutes. Now behind the cage, looking to get something going. Split dodge, nope, spin. Shot high above the cage. Restart, quick for the Cougars. Oh, I'm sure he'll tell his friends that that was a pass, but I think I know better. I'm pretty sure he was going for a shot there. It just ended up being a very fancy pass. But a whistle away from the ball. Looks like Wilkerson is headed off of the field. Not sure if that's due to penalty or doesn't look like it's due to penalty as he's not headed over to take a knee. And there's no indication of a penalty on the scoreboard, but there will be an indication of another goal being scored as the Cougars are able to scoot their first goal past Mr. Nolan Kent. Nothing really Kent could do about that one. That was a defensive breakdown, allowed the Cougars to get right in front of the cage and put that shot on net. So now Kevin McParlin has a goal to go along with his 2 assists. The Genesee Cougars continue to dominate here this afternoon. That Cougars goal was scored by number 6, Kevin McParlin, assisted by number 23, Tyler Thompson. The restart here. Cougars still in possession. Working that ball around. They've pretty much controlled this ball for the entire second quarter. Now working it behind the cage. Now onto this near sideline. Back over onto behind the cage. Not a lot of movement away from the ball. Shot. Kent makes the save, or the pole made the save. Not sure which it hit first, but all that matters if you're a Knights player or fan is that it wasn't a goal and that you're going to come away with possession here after the whistle. Opportunity to get that goose egg turned into a 0. Right now it's still 7-0 in favor of the Cougars. The Knights, they've had some opportunities in this game. None here in the second quarter. They had a few opportunities in the first quarter. Just none that they could capitalize on. Well, let's see if they can change that fortune around here on their first possession of the second quarter. Here's the dodge. Up top. Working that ball around. Going from stick to stick. No one holding it for too long here. Great closeout defense by the Cougars. Ends up being a stick check. A poke check, excuse me. Puts it on the ground. Here come the Cougars. Quick shot. Quick goals. 6-15. I believe that was McParlin to Alex Mack. We're going to get confirmation on that in a second, but those are two names we've been saying a lot here in the first half. McParlin and Mack, two players for the Cougars who are very much directly responsible for this score being 8-0 right now. So it is correct. Alex Mack with the goal. McParlin with the assist. I believe that now gives McParlin two assists that I have right now here on my paper. But I feel like I've said his name a few more times than that. That Cougars goal was scored by number 15, Alex Mack, assisted by number 6, Kevin McParlin. So McParlin and Mack working the two-man game right now. Once again, here are the Cougars with possession in their offensive zone. Last possession for the Knights was their longest of the second quarter. Didn't end up in a shot, though. Oh, great move offensively there for the Genesee Cougars, splitting the defense, picking up the loose ball and putting it into the back of the net. Guess what? Who else but McParlin? McParlin with the unassisted goal. He scooped up the loose ball after the turnover and then just buried it into the back of the net. Man, wheels on the bus. Not going round and round right now. Look like they're about to fall off. Very teachable moment right now if you are head coach Tim King of the Knights. This is a game you're going to have lots of things to be able to teach your team, teach your players, and have lots of teachable moments, as my dad used to say. Difficult game, but lots of things you can learn from in a game like this, especially this early in the season. That Cougars goal was scored by number 6, Kevin McParlin. But then again, honestly, me saying that is definitely jumping the gun. It's only a 9-point lead here for the Cougars, and I've seen this Knights team come back from big deficits before. This is a very, very good Knights program. A lot of experienced players, and there's one right there making a big save, Nolan Kent. I told you he knew his way around those pipes, and that was a big save there from Mr. Kent. Nolan Kent flashing out from the pipes to get his defense, someone to pass that ball to, and man, that's the second or third time that Wilkerson's dropped a pass, and that one almost cost him big time. As I was saying before Kent made that great save, this Knights team knows how to make comebacks. They've got the players to be able to make a comeback like this. They just need to start stringing some goals together. Obviously, they don't have a goal so far, but I think a 2-3 run goal, a 2-3 goal run here by the Knights makes this a brand new ball game. Momentum starts swinging back on your side. When you see that ball hit the back of the net, kind of just makes everybody play a little bit better. Once you know that the game's a little bit closer, the defense starts playing a little bit better, the midfield starts playing a little bit better. They always say defense wins championships, and that's true in a lot of times, but a lot of times offense creates defense. Like right now, you've got to go from offense to defense with some urgency, and it's a lot more difficult to do that after a turnover as opposed to doing it after a goal. Here's a nice move. Lyon, he trucked through a couple Cougars players earlier in the game and doing it again right now. Lyons, it's almost like he's got a finger on that ball or something, holding it in the pocket. Making some great moves, avoiding some defenders for the Cougars. It's the second time he's made a play like that in this game. Quick pass, can't be. Picked up by the Knights, and another turnover. Universal rule in pretty much every team sport is the team that wins the turnover battle is usually the team that's going to win the game. And right now, I don't need to tell you who's winning the turnover battle. It's pretty obvious. 7 minutes and some change left here in the second quarter. 9-0 is the score in favor of the Cougars. Ooh, that looked like a dangerous pass there for a second. Great job on the ride there for the Cougars, making the Knights work double overtime to get that ball past the midfield line. They finally do. They get the short stick in for the long stick in the offensive zone, and now the Knights are on the attack. Faking like they were going into the middle, now back over onto the far sideline. Back into the middle. Playing a one-man offensive game right now. You're not going to get back into this game playing like that, or maybe you will. Oh, my goodness. What a pass and what a shot. The Knights are on the board. That was Joshua Shelfie making a nice move there, working overtime to get himself a passing lane where he could find his teammate, Evan Clement, and he buried it into the back of the net. The Knights, fans, coaches, and players a lot happier now that they no longer have to look at that 0 on their scoreboard. Now it says 9-1. That Knights goal was scored by number 30, Evan Clement. A 9-1 there after Evan Clement's goal. And a whistle by the ref, and we're going to restart this here. Two teams get back situated. Cougars just watch the Knights get their first goal of the game. That may kickstart them back up into high gear. Let's see what the offensive game plan is here on this possession. Some one-on-one play right now, trying to beat the defender, and does. That is a great play there by the Cougars offensive player. I believe that was number 25. Oh, actually, no, number 23, excuse me, Tyler Thompson. Tyler Thompson was working extra hard there to get himself into an offensive scoring position, and the Knights are not able to put together multiple goals. Instead, they get one and then give one right back. That Cougars goal was scored by number 23, Tyler Thompson. And man, as we were getting the announcement on that, the Knights had an excellent opportunity at goal scoring, but just a tremendous save there by the Cougars goaltender, Garrett Lazor. Quick possession for the Knights comes to a quick end. As now the Cougars are on the offensive attack once again. Here they come. Just over 5 minutes left here in this first half. And you got to be excited to hear that halftime whistle if you were a Knights fan, coach, or player. It'll be interesting to hear what the halftime speech will be for head coach Tim King, as his team will be down at least 10 points as of right now going into halftime. As the Cougars, number 12, Patrick Bilbrey, he saw all of his teammates getting in on the scoring action, and he decided he wanted to as well. What an impressive move by that young man. Number 12, Patrick Bilbrey, a nice move, got himself into a good scoring area. Just like in basketball, you just got to rise up and take the shot, and that's exactly what he did. As Marv Albert would say, bang. That Cougars goal was scored by number 12, Patrick Bilbrey. Cougars, you can see what their offensive mentality is right now. Get it and shoot it. They took that shot as fast as they possibly could. That ball was on their stick, and then it was off their stick just like that. Now under 5 minutes left to play here in the first half. Shot good once again. That's Alex Mack. Didn't see who Mack caught the pass from, but he just buried that into the back of the net. I believe that's his third goal of the game. I'm going to get confirmation on that in a second. But 12-1 is the score. And once again, two names that I've said a lot here in this game, Alex Mack and Kevin McParlin. Looking like the Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen duo for this Cougars team right now. Just the 1-2-man game. Cougars really killing the Knights with it. That Cougars goal was scored by number 15, Alex Mack, assisted by number 6, Kevin McParlin. So just over 4 minutes left here in the first half, and the ball continues to move around the Cougars offense. Cougars getting the players they want into the offensive zone. Sure, we'll probably be, if things continue the way they are right now, we may be seeing more of the Cougars' second unit and third unit in the second half. A crease violation. Quick pass up here by the Knights. Spin move. Trying to get themselves free there was Austin Wendt. Working hard. Ended up having to give the ball up instead, and we're going to take a timeout, or the Knights will take a timeout. We'll stay here. 3 minutes and 26 seconds left here in this first half. 12-1. 12-1 is the score. Be interesting to see what the offensive game plan will be for Coach King's team as they come out of this huddle. Not really sure what, if any, I'm not really sure what the offensive game plan was for the Knights coming into this game. Whatever it was, they never really had much of a chance to get into it since the game pretty much started with 2-3 very, very quick goals for the Cougars. And once you get yourself down 3 goals that quickly, it's kind of hard to stick to the offensive game plan at that point. You kind of have to just throw everything to the wall and see what sticks. Like I said, if things continue this way, yes, this would be a disappointing loss this early in the season for this Knights team, but this early in the season, that's when you want to get losses like this out of the way. You want to get those, somewhat maybe embarrassing losses out of the way because they're great teachable moments. This could be a team where, we're looking at the end of the season, we're looking back on this game as the game that really propelled them into the team that they were going to be this season. So even though this has the makings of what could be an ugly afternoon here in Game 1 of our doubleheader, this also could be a very, very important teachable moment, coachable moment, I should say, for head coach Tim King and the rest of his coaching staff. Restart whistle has blown, so we're ready to restart things here in the second quarter. Just over 3 minutes left. Knights have possession. Working hard, trying to get a pass off. Loses control of it, scoops it back up, but lost control of it again. That was number 10, Joshua Shelfie. Working that ball around. Here come the Cougars into the offensive zone now. They've got a long stick in the offensive zone. They're going to try and get rid of him. They are. He's getting back into his defensive area. They get the short stick in the offensive zone, and now they're on the attack. Quick shot with the left hand. No. Instead, the pass. Oh, nice save. Nolan Kent had to get down on the knees to make that save. Nolan Kent went to in relief here in this game as John Eden was taken out after the first quarter. And Kent, even though he's given up some goals here in the second quarter, I think he's played very well. He's made some tremendous saves, though. John Eden played very well, I thought, in the first quarter as well. I didn't think those 6 goals that he gave up were an indication of poor play. I think it was just more of an indication of the team the Knights are going up against is really good. John Eden had made a couple fantastic saves in that first quarter as well. Another save there by Nolan Kent. I think that got the side of his big stick. Regardless, it's not a goal, and that's something he's very happy about. Cougars, just under 2 minutes left here in the first half. Moving that ball around the offensive zone. If you are head coach Dave Hoover of the Cougars, you got to be very, very happy with what you saw from your team here in this first half. But I'm sure he's also got some things he'd like to see his team improve on. No coach is going to tell you that you are perfect. And the behind-the-back shot is no good. If style points counted for anything, I'd say that was a solid 10. But as my dad always used to say, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Not sure what that means, though. Minute and 20 seconds left as all that separates these two teams from the halftime whistle. Here's Wilkerson. Spin dodge, or excuse me, swim. Another swim. Nice move there. Doing his best Reggie White impression there. Swimming all around the defense. Wilkerson still with the ball on his stick. Now passing it up to Shelfie. Shelfie's got the only assist of the game for the Knights on a play that I was very surprised. I thought he was maybe doing a little bit too much, but he ended up getting just a perfect cross-court pass, or cross-field pass, that led to a goal. Shelfie there trying to do the same thing. That time the pass was deflected. Last touch by the Cougars. Knights still with possession here. Nice. Little split. Up top. Shot. No. Now back around. Ball's on the ground. Knights scoop it up. Shot. No good. Cannot get the shot off before it's taken out of the stick. And here come the Cougars on the attack once again. And the Knights will start the second half a man down as the Laundry is out onto the field, and the Cougars are just going to hold on to this ball for the next 8 seconds. Actually, the Knights are going to start the second half down 2 men now as the more Laundry out onto the field. One of the defenders for the Knights is trying to plead his teammate's case. That is number 27. Even though I don't have a number 27 on my scorecard. He was trying to say something to the ref, but I'm pretty sure the ref wasn't buying it. But what you will be buying is the second half of this game. It's going to be an exciting second half, as the first half was very exciting if you're a Cougars fan. The score after 30 minutes, 12-1. I'm Aaron Thomas. We'll be back right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget about March 20th here at the CCBC Essex Stadium, our Lace Up with Lax charity event trying to end homelessness one step at a time. On March 20th here at CCBC Essex Stadium, we'll have men's lacrosse action at 4 p.m. and then women's lacrosse action at 6 p.m. And please bring mostly black new shoes for children, items to be donated to Eastern Family Resource Center, cash donations also accepted. For more information, please visit www.laceupwithlax.org or visit www.ccbcessexnights.com for more information. All right, fans, you heard that. Do not forget about the Lace Up with Lax charity event here March 20th at CCBC Essex Stadium. That's going to be a very, very good day for men's and women's lacrosse action here at CCBC Essex, as at 4 o'clock, the CCBC Essex men's team takes on Finger Lakes, and then at 6 o'clock, the women's team takes on the Frederick Cougars. That is a rivalry that you're not going to want to miss. Those are two teams that have games that are usually a little chippy and always very, very close. And also, don't forget, please bring mostly black new shoes for children, items to be donated to the Eastern Family Resource Center, and cash donations, as always, also accepted. This is America. We are back here and ready to play the next 30 minutes of this contest. Remember, fans, I was about to say, remember, fans, the Knights are going to start this down two men for the next 1 minute, but right now that's no longer the case, as the Cougars, first 8 seconds into the third quarter, they score a goal, so the man up is now over, unless that was unreleasable. One of them was unreleasable, so we're going to still be a man down for the next 53 seconds, as or are they going to be two men down? Some confusion out there on the court and up here, or excuse me, some confusion out there on the turf, and also some confusion up here in the press box as well, as we were trying to figure out what that was. So the goal for the Cougars, surprise, surprise, I'm pretty sure most of you could probably guess who it is. It's number 6, Kevin McParlin. Been saying his name a lot here this afternoon, and the assist goes to number 40, Evan Holfelder. That Cougars goal was scored by number 6, Kevin McParlin, assisted by number 40, Evan Holfelder. So Evan Holfelder, I believe that's his first action of the afternoon. I don't remember seeing the number 40 out there on the field for the Cougars in the first half, but no surprise we're seeing him here in the second half, as the Cougars have got a pretty dominant lead right now, and I'm sure as we get further and further along into this second half, we're going to see more and more of the Cougars' second, third, and maybe even fourth line players, especially if this game continues to go the way it's going right now. Eden is back in between the pipes, which is a surprise here up in the broadcast booth, I would say. Eden found himself a seat on the bench after the first quarter, not sure why. And Eden making a run from his cage, and I don't know if his teammates are going to be happy with this or not. The restart, Eden's got to sprint down there. He's got an open shot, or the Cougars are going to have an open shot at goal, and he does sprint down there. He would not have made it there in time if the Knights wouldn't have committed that penalty. So maybe that was a bailout penalty. It'd be interesting. I would like to be a fly on the wall when Eden has his conversation with head coach Tim King after the game. I don't know if Coach King was happy with what he just saw Eden do, or if he was impressed. Eden has played a very nice game in between the pipes, once again making a very good save there. Eden, even though he did not play the second quarter, he made a couple very, very nice saves in the first quarter. That's why I was so surprised to see him taken out after the first quarter. He's back in there regardless. Here come the Cougars, scooping up the ground ball after the long pass by the Knights was not a good one. But the ground ball scooped up by the Knights. Here's a quick shot. Oh, my goodness. Open net for a second, but what a great play by Lazor to be able to get back there in time, and he's letting his defense hear it. That was a very nice play. You put that on a YouTube video with some music behind it, and you got yourself a highlight tape. That was a nice move. Oh, nice move there by the Cougars, number 12. What a move. Got into a scoring area. Patrick Bilbrey just ripped that shot and buried it. That was a great move by him, man. He caught that pass, saw that there was a driving lane in front of him, and he just took advantage of it right away. 14-1 now. We haven't even played a full 3 minutes here in this third quarter, and things are already starting to get out of hand. That Cougars goal was scored by number 12, Patrick Bilbrey. So Patrick with another goal. I believe that's his second of the contest. Working the ball around here are the Cougars. Working it around the circle, as I like to call it. Now some one-on-one play. Once again, working around the circle. This time the opposite direction. Now, here comes the move. Spin into the into a scoring area. Opportunity at goal scoring. There, could not capitalize. Ground ball scooped up by the Cougars. Looked like the Knights were there first, but the Cougars wanted it more. Here they come. Underhand pass. That will go out of bounds. Had the right idea. Had a teammate behind the cage. Trying to find them with the pass. Just not very accurate. Missed opportunity by the Cougars, but they can afford to miss a few when they've already capitalized on so many. Nice dodge there by Wilkerson to get himself free and get into the offensive zone. Wilkerson finally makes up for his bad plays in the first quarter where he missed an opportunity at goal scoring. There was a great play by him, getting around a couple defenders into the scoring area, buries it into the back of the net. First goal of the game for him, second of the game for the Knights. So Kamari Wilkerson of Galesville, Maryland. I've lived in Maryland my entire life, and I've never heard of Galesville. I believe that's, I'm guessing that's probably southern Maryland. That Knights goal was scored by number 1, Kamari Wilkerson. So Wilkerson had a couple opportunities at goal scoring in the first quarter. Wasn't able to capitalize on them here early in the third quarter. He makes the most of it. Very nice play by him to get the second goal of the game for the Knights. 14-2 is now the score, so the Cougars still very much in control here in this one. Come the Cougars, working that ball around the circle. Side to side. Now moving on to that far sideline. One-on-one play. Into the post, trying to back him down. And a whistle away from the ball. That'll go against the Cougars, and the Knights will take over possession here. Just under 10 minutes left to play in the third quarter. The Knights with possession now. See if they can, for the first time in this game, string together goals. Somebody's got to flash so they can get a pass off. No one does. That is not very good lacrosse there from the Knights, as number 23, Brandon Huggins, was getting destroyed by the attackmen and midfielders for the Cougars, and he was waiting for someone to flash for the pass. No one did. He ends up turning it over in his offensive zone. That may go down as a turnover by Huggins, but I'm not putting the blame on him. He had no one to pass that ball to. Here are the Cougars, as the Cougars sideline looks to be preparing another goalie to come into the game. Here come the Knights, getting that ball into the offensive zone. Long stick in the offensive zone. Going to switch him out for a shorty. Wilkerson flashes top. You know he's someone who can do something with the ball on his stick. You already saw that just a second ago. Knights quick passes around the circle. Now just over 8 minutes left, third period. 14-2 is the score. Shot good. Nice goal there by number 22, Timothy Ross. Ross did not see an opportunity in front of him for one of his teammates, so he decided to make one for himself. Got himself into a scoring area, ripped that shot off. Now 14-3, the Knights, 2-goal run. That Knights goal was scored by number 22, Timothy Ross. So Mr. Ross making his presence felt there. First. Oh, what a hit! Oh, my goodness. Oh, what another big hit! My goodness. If ESPN still did the You Got Jacked Up segment, those two would definitely be on it. Wow, what two big hits. Just decleating hits. And Wilkerson's taking a seat on the bench. He looks to be in some pain. And now we've got a flag on the field. My goodness, that was a massive hit. Here's the dodge from behind the cage. Ross, the last goal scorer, over to Shelfie. Dodge, shot, wide of the net, but the possession will stay with the Knights, and they'll be on a man up, and Wilkerson is limping on that sideline. He's going to see the trainer. What a huge opportunity here for the Knights, though. Still so much time left in this game. If they can get another 2 goals here, they'd really open that door open for that comeback opportunity. String together 2 goals here. Could they string together another 2? Get that back into single digits. Get that lead for the Cougars back into single digits. Hey, anything's possible. I've seen some incredible comebacks here at CCBC Essex in all sports. Men's and women's soccer, men's and women's lacrosse. I've seen some great basketball comebacks here at the CCBC program with the Dundalk Lions. Anything's possible here at this level. So if the Knights can continue to play with some spunk like they are right now, they could be blazing the comeback trail. 7 minutes left here, third quarter. 14-3 is the score. Behind the cage, Ross up to Shelfie. He's going to shoot. No, he's not. He passes it off. And that's going to be a penalty on the Cougars. Shot by Shelfie just over the net. Man, he was whipping that thing from a very, very unfavorable angle. Somehow he almost found his way. Somehow he almost forced that ball into the back of the net. Shelfie, at the end of this game, he may not have a lot of points to his name, but he's definitely going to be one of those players that his coaching staff is going to look at, and they're going to know that his fingerprints were all over this game because he's been working overtime since the first whistle. Wilkerson is back out onto the field, which is a very nice sight if you are a Knights fan, player, or coach. Let's see how that big hit affects him moving forward in this game. Moving the ball around, trying to find Wilkerson at the top, but a great defensive play by the Cougars defenseman to be able to get that long pole on that ball. Here are the Cougars trying to kill off the offensive attack. Shot with the long pole, and it's saved by Eden, and that is a head-to-head hit there on the Knights player. That was not very pretty, and that's going to be at least 2 minutes, I'm guessing. Head-to-head hit at this level, any level that is, not acceptable. Emotions got the best right there. Not pretty. Great save by Eden, though, on that shot from the long stick by the Cougars. You get a long stick that close and that far into the offensive zone, you know he's thinking one thing and one thing only, and that's shot, shot, shot. Eden knew that more times than not. You got a long stick that close to the goal, he's going to go for the bounce shot. It's a lot harder to catch that if you're a goalie. And Eden knew it was coming, and he made a great save. Bad penalty afterwards, though, as these two teams will be at even strength at least for the next 34 seconds. But that's a 2-minute penalty on the Knights' number 12, Hunter Wise. And I'm guessing that's probably going to be unreleasable. Here come the Cougars. Even strength these two teams will be at for the next 25 seconds. And then the Cougars will be on the man up. Last thing the Knights wanted was to give the Cougars this great opportunity at a unreleasable man up. Cougars looking over at the sideline, waiting for their player to get back out onto the field so they can go at the full man advantage. Now they do. Cougars a man up. Got the shorty in the offensive zone. Great patience here by the Cougars being displayed. Long shot, nope. Instead the pass. Great closeout defense here by the Knights, not allowing the Cougars anything. The Cougars have got the Knights so compressed right now. It's only going to take one move for them to get a shot off, and it does! Into the middle. They get the shot off. That's Alex Mack. Mack just wide of the net. If there's one guy you want that ball, you want the ball on somebody's stick if you're the Cougars, it's probably Alex Mack because he's had his presence very, very much felt here in this game. Long shot! What a move! I guess Jason Chido may have heard me, and he said, well, Alex Mack's not the only one who's got a laser shot on this team. I can do that as well. Jason Chido, bottom corner. Eden, there was nothing he could do about that. That was just a tremendous shot. Like they say in football, there's no defense for a perfect pass. That was a perfect goal. Seven from 4. Jason Chido with the goal for the Cougars. That Cougars goal was scored by number 7, Jason Chido. So Chido with another goal, and the Cougars are going to be on the man up for the next 30 seconds. As I said before, that was an unreleasable penalty on the night, so just because they scored does not mean they go back to even strength. Knights still with a man down. Another shot. Great move by Eden to make that save. Wow, he ripped that one. That was a burner of a shot from number 40, Evan Holfelder, the sophomore midfielder. Conor McGregor once said before a fight, he said, power is great, but precision and accuracy beat power every time. And on that shot, you saw it right there. Holdfelder put a lot of power on that shot, but not very much accuracy, as it was right into the stick of Eden. Just under 4 minutes left to play here in this third quarter, and it is 15-3. The Knights, 2 goals here in this period. For a moment, it looked like they could possibly cut this lead back down to single digits as they made it an 11-point game, and it looked like they were going to grab some momentum. But after that penalty, the momentum seems to have found its way back onto the shoulders of the Cougars, which is not a good sign if you are a Knights player, fan, or coach. I will say, though, if you're head coach Tim King, I think, obviously, if things continue to go the way they're going right now, you're going to be a little disappointed by the outcome of the game. Obviously, you want to win every game you play in, but I don't think you walk away from this game holding your head down at all. I think the Knights have really came in here and punched the Cougars in the mouth a little bit. The scoreboard may not reflect it, but when they were down 6-0, 12-0, when they were down 6-0 at the end of the first period and 12-0 at one point in the second quarter, a lot of teams at that point would just give up, and the Knights at no point have they given up here in this game. They're showing a lot of fight and a lot of resilience, and that's something head coach Tim King is going to be very happy about. Long pass intercepted by Wilkerson. He's going to go for the quick shot. No, he doesn't. He goes for the pass instead. Nice play by Wilkerson. I thought he was just going to rip that shot, but he saw that Ross was in front of the net and he had a better shot, so he gave it to him instead, and Timothy Ross now has his second goal of the game. So Timothy Ross makes it 15-4. It's back to an 11-point game. So Kamari Wilkerson with the interception on the pass, and then the quick pass over to his teammate Timothy Ross, who buried it into the back of the net. That's very, very good to see Wilkerson making a play like that, especially when a couple minutes ago I didn't know if we were going to see him back into the game after he had taken such a huge hit. But Wilkerson showed that he's a tough boy. Shook it off and got back out onto the field, and now he's got an assist to his name to go along with his goal. That Knights goal was scored by number 22, Timothy Ross, assisted by number 1, Kamari Wilkerson. Two teams waiting to be at even strength. Or excuse me, I should say the Cougars are waiting to be at even strength. The Knights would like to get that ball back right now and go have another chance at a goal while they're still on the man up. And they are not going to get that opportunity, as the two teams are now at even strength as the penalty is over. They got the shorty back into the offensive zone, and now the Cougars are ready to go on the offensive attack. Just over 2 minutes left in this third quarter, which has been by far the most exciting quarter of the games. Working the ball behind the center X. And that is a defensive penalty. Another one. That is not a very good job of keeping your composure if you were a Knights player. You saw the laundry out, you made another stab at it, and then more laundry came out onto the field. And excuse me, I called the behind the goal center X. It just meant to say behind the cage earlier. The man down unit going to come back out onto the field for the Knights. Let's see how many men they will be down. Will it just be one? Will it be two? It's going to be one, but it's going to be for 2 minutes. Unreleasable, looks like. So once again, a major penalty here in this game, making the comeback hopes for the Knights look almost non-existent. Just over 2 minutes left here in this game, or in this third period. The Knights are going to be down a man that entire time, and also for the first second or two of the fourth quarter. Shot ripped wide of the net. Possession will stay with the Cougars. Long pass cannot be caught by the Cougars, and that'll be a turnover. Knights take possession here. Minute and 24 seconds left on the man down for the Knights, but they've got a chance to get a man down goal here. Talk about a momentum switcher. If the Knights were able to get a man down goal here, that would definitely go a long way in swinging some of that momentum back out onto their side. Here's Wilkerson looking for something. He needs a teammate to flash to him so he can get a pass off. Finally does. That's Lyon. Lyon, only a freshman, but I can already see by the time his stay here at CCBC Essex is over, he is going to be a defensive midfield specialist. Tough young man from everything I've seen from him here in this game so far. Here's Wilkerson. He needs somebody to pass to, or maybe he's just trying to waste time off the clock. It looks like that's what he's doing. They're not even going to try and entertain the man down goal. They're just going to hold on to this ball as long as they can and get into the fourth quarter with the score remaining the same. Smart offensive play. Or at least it was until Lions turned it over there and gave the Cougars an opportunity to get a goal in the next 2 seconds. They're not going to be able to do that, though, as they turned it over, or almost turned it over themselves. So we have played 45 minutes, and we've got another 15 to play. After this short break, the score after the end of 3 quarters, it is 15-4. We'll be back after this short break. But before we get out of here, fans, do not forget about the Lace Up with Lax, ending homelessness one step at a time. March 20th here at CCBC Essex Stadium. We've got men's and women's lacrosse action all day. Men's lacrosse at 4 p.m. as they take on Finger Lakes. Women's lacrosse action at 6 p.m. as they take on Frederick. You're not going to want to miss that game. Usually a very good rivalry game there. And also, please remember, please bring mostly black new shoes for children. Items to be donated to Eastern Family Resource Center. Cash donations also always accepted. And please visit www.laceupwithlax.org or www.ccbcessexknights.com for more information. Quick break in the action, and it looks like Nolan Kent is going to take back over the goalie duty as we start the fourth quarter momentarily. I'm Aaron Thomas. We'll be back after this short break. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back here and ready to play the final 15 minutes of this contest. The Knights will be on the man down for the first 2 seconds of this fourth quarter as they had a 2-minute penalty at the end of the third quarter that they were not able to finish. But that's over now, and the two teams are back at even strength. Nolan Kent in between the pipes once again for the Cougars. This is his second time seeing some action here in this game. He played the entire second quarter, and the starter, John Eden, played the entire first and third quarter. Both goalies, I would say, have had pretty good games. These 15 goals that they've given up, I don't believe is a example of poor play as much as it is an example of the Genesee Cougars are just a really, really good lacrosse team. Ball's in the air, loose ball. Who's going to come away with it? Looking like a game of hot potato. Nobody wants it. Genesee will take it, though, as it's last touched by the Knights. One of the coaches for the Knights was not happy with that call, though. Here come the Cougars. Interesting to see what their offensive game plan will be for this fourth quarter. We will have a first quarter coming up after this. Remember, fans, this is only game one of our doubleheader, and man, what a save by Nolan Kent. Whew. Coming in cold off the bench after not playing the third quarter and makes a beautiful save there to start the fourth quarter. But as I was saying before that save, remember, fans, this is only game one of our doubleheader. These two teams' women's programs will go head-to-head. That game will be tipping off sometime around 2:30, give or take. I'll be on the call for that one as well, and hope you can all join us for that game, which will be a very exciting one. I know that the Knights women's team was in action on Thursday. I was not here for that one. Looking forward to seeing my first women's lacrosse game of the season for this Knights team. And, man, what a great save once again by the Cougars goalkeeper. That's actually a new guy in between the pipes for the Cougars. That's number 24, Lincoln Potter. I don't believe he's related to Harry. He's a freshman goalkeeper who just made his presence felt on that nice save there. Here come the Cougars' offensive attack. Trying to get a dodge flag away from the play. And, man, Nolan Kent just got put in the spin cycle right there. That was a beautiful move. Fake high, go low. Does not get much better than that. That's just picture-perfect lacrosse, and I've said that a few times here this afternoon. Evan Holfelder was the one who got the goal for the Cougars, a very nice one. Fake high, go low. That's how they draw them up if you're a coach. Head coach Dave Hoover had to like that one. How ironic that head coach Dave Hoover is the coach of the Cougars. I guess that kind of rhymes. That Cougars goal was scored by number 40, Evan Holfelder. So Holfelder, I believe that's his second goal of the second half, as it is. No, he had an assist to start the second half. Did not have a goal. So he's now got a goal to go along with his assist. He's watching his point totals climb up the ladder here. Wilkerson gets it into the offensive zone. Wilkerson doesn't have many points to his name in this game, but he's definitely made his presence felt, and he made his presence felt there as well as he got himself into a scoring position and almost forced the Cougars to make a bad play on him, and that's exactly what they did. They committed the penalty, and now the Knights will be on a man up here for the next 30 seconds. Number 35, Matt Anderson for the Cougars. He's had quite a few penalties here in this game. Working the ball around. Here's Ross. Ross, the only member of the Knights team in the running for the hat trick club. And he will not get it on this possession as the Knights turn it over. Nice move there by Potter. Getting himself some free space to be able to find one of his defensemen so they can put the ride on. Or try and get rid of the ball, excuse me. Ride up is good. Get into the offensive zone. Here come the Cougars. Behind the cage, flash to the front. Great move, Alex Mack. Alex Mack, the unassisted goal. Very nice move by him. Getting himself into that scoring area, burying that shot into the back of the net. Alex Mack, the sophomore attackman. Been saying his name lots in this game. He had 3 goals in the first half, and now he's got another one here in the second. Alex Mack continuing have his presence felt here in this game. Face off for the Knights. That Cougars goal was scored by number 15, Alex Mack. So Alex Mack, another goal here for him, and now we're approaching the final 10 minutes of play here in this game. Oh, that's a penalty. Yeah, you can't do that. An aggressive move was maybe just a little bit too aggressive, and Malachi Terry, freshman out of Shady Side, Maryland, is getting an earful from one of the Cougars players as he walks off the field. Here come the Cougars. Quick shot and good, man. The Knights man-down unit is just not been on their A-game here this afternoon. So many man-up opportunities for the Cougars, and it feels like they've pretty much made good on every single one of them. Ten minutes and some change left in this one, and Kevin McParlin gets into the scoring groove of things as he now has 2 goals in the second half. He had at least 1 in the first. Yes, he did. So he joins the hat trick club. I think he's got at least 3 assists as well. McParlin laying the Bubba beat down in this game. That Cougars goal was scored by number 6, Kevin McParlin. McParlin, another goal for his name. Lions splitting the defense, trying to get into a scoring area. Can't, but he gets the loose ball as he chases it down. Lions working overtime here in the second unit for this Knights team. Hasn't had much playing time, but I feel like every time he's been in the game, I've said his name. You want to impress your coach. Make the most of the opportunities you get, and Lions is doing that here in this game. Turnover by the Knights, though, on that offensive possession after the ill-advised behind-the-back pass. Shot is good. I thought that hit the side of the cage. Instead, it went inside. Went into the back of the net. The ugliness continues here this afternoon. Joshua Shields with the goal. Wasn't there a Josh Shields who used to pitch in the majors? It was a Shield something. I'm not sure if there's any relation to him. Joshua Shields with the goal, the 19th goal of the game for the Cougars. That Cougars goal was scored by number 14, Joshua Shields. And Shields has some family here in this game, as there was lots of woos as I said his name. Now in goal for the Cougars, number 33, Troy Benedict. He takes over with 8 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game. Now in goal for the Cougars, number 33, Troy Benedict. Benedict getting some action in between the pipes. This is the third goalie to take over the game for the Cougars, as they also had Mr. Lincoln Potter play some in the second half as well. Nolan Kent and Eden have played in between the pipes for the Knights here in this game, and that's a nice move by the long stick for the Knights, able to get into the offensive zone. He's thinking shot, very close. Didn't have much of an angle to get that shot off, but he still almost buried it. That was that was Brandon Strazdowskis. Strazdowskis almost made the most of the opportunity that he had in front of him there. Approaching the final 5 minutes of play, score is 19-4. And that's going to be a turnover by the Knights, As Lions tried to find, I believe that's Wilkerson with the pass, and it went over his head. Wilkerson, not the tallest player on this team, actually one of the shortest players, stands at 5'10", weighed in at 145 pounds. Well, that size definitely helps him here for this team, as he's one of the shiftier players on this team. Looks like he may fit nicely into the point guard role of this Knights team, where he could be one of those players you put the ball on his stick, and you give him a chance and a little bit of space, he's going to make something happen for either himself or his teammates. Even though the Knights are going to be walking away with the loss here this afternoon, I think there's a lot of things you got to be happy about if you're a Knights player, fan, or coach. I think you had a few players separate themselves here in this game as players to watch out for in this season. Players like John Eden, Nolan Kent, both goalkeepers who made terrific saves throughout this game. And also players like Kamari Wilkerson, Lyons off the bench. Dakota Lyon off the bench. And then Timothy Ross as well. Those guys really separated themselves from maybe some of the other players. Maybe head coach Tim King notices that, and maybe those are players who you see in the starting lineup moving forward. Wilkerson was not in the starting lineup, and neither was Dakota Lyons, but those are two players who've played a lot here in this game. So coachable moment this game is, and this early in the season, this could be the game we look back on as the game that really propelled the Knights to being the team that they were going to be this season. And the Genesee Cougars, once again, looking like they're possibly going to be the team to beat in this conference, in this division. You know that coming into the season pretty much every year. You know that the Genesee Cougars are going to bring in a very good team, and this season is no exception. Cougars have played very well here in this game. And big hit on the near sideline. That ball will go onto the nightstick, just over 5 minutes left. Nice one-handed catch, and the receipt is coming his way. And nope, he got rid of that ball before he could take the hit. That was Malachi Terry. You lay a big hit on somebody, you know a receipt's coming. Doesn't matter what level. Here come the Cougars. Gonna hold on to possession, I'm sure, for as long as they can here. Not going to want to put the gas, not going to want to put the foot on the gas pedal, excuse me, as this game is very much over. Be interesting, as I said earlier, I would like to be a fly on the wall in the locker room after this game. It'd be interesting to see what head coach Tim King and some of his assistants have to say about this contest. Obviously, the scoreboard does not favor them, but I think this is a game where they came out and played really well, especially against a team that I would say most people probably think is going to be one of the best teams in the conference, if not the entire state. And right there you saw why, as that was just an absolute incredible play by number 26, Robert Campani. He absorbed that contact and still buried it into the back of the net for the 20th goal of the game. And right there you saw for the Knights, emotions definitely running high, and they got the best of them there. As if you're head coach Tim King, you're not going to be happy with what you just saw. That was a pretty late hit after the shot. Want to keep those emotions in check, because plays like that is what ends up maybe getting you ejected from a game, maybe suspended for a game, or even worse than that. Plays like that are kind of the plays where you can really hurt somebody. And as much as this is a physical game, you don't want to see anybody get significantly or seriously hurt. Late hit like that, very possible. So number 11, 2 minutes. That is Brandon Strasdowskis. That is his second big penalty of the game. So for the next 2 minutes, the Cougars will be on the man up, as they are up 20-4 right now with just over 4 minutes left here in this contest. Cougars fake high, go low. Alex Mack there with the shot and goal. Mack. Alex Mack with another impressive goal to his name. And it came just about 18 seconds into the man-up opportunity, but that was an unreleasable penalty, so the Knights are still going to be a man down for the next minute and 42 seconds. That's why those penalties like that, they really kill you. And I know this isn't a game where, before that penalty, it looked like the Knights were maybe in this game. The game was already over before the penalty, but early in the season, those are the things you don't like to see from your team if you're head coach Tim King. Definitely going to have an earful with some of his players with a play like that and a play like that. Just quick give and go. Really just blew past the Knights. Put it into the back of the net for the game, not game winning, excuse me. I'm a little ahead of myself. What could be the game-ending goal. That could be the last goal of the game. We'll see. That Cougars goal was scored by number 35, Matt Anderson, assisted by number 15, Alex Mack. So Matt Anderson is the first long pole to score here in this game. Not to say that we've had many opportunities for long poles to score in this game. I think each team before then had one defenseman take a shot before then. Both of them misses. As I said before here in that game, I remember when I played lacrosse, I played defense. I had that long stick, and every time I got into that offensive zone, there was only one thing on my mind, and that was shoot, shoot, shoot. Don't get many opportunities at goal scoring when you're playing with the long stick, but once you get them, you want to make the most of them. Right there, the Cougars were able to do that, even though it was a pretty easy opportunity. The Knights' defense kind of parted like the Red Sea on that one. 3 minutes and 37 seconds left in this contest. The score is 22-4, and the Knights will be down a man once again for the next minute and 29 seconds. After the 2-minute penalty on number 11, Brandon Strasdauskas. Here come the Cougars after the face-off win. Cougars holding on to the ball behind the cage. Good defense there by the Knights, but then again, the Cougars not pressing the issue, just holding on to the ball. Now they finally do move it around. 55 seconds left on the man up for the Cougars. And just under 3 minutes left here in this contest. Remember, this is only game one of our doubleheader. These two programs' women's teams will be going head-to-head after this. Let's see if the CCBC Essex women's program can have a little bit of revenge on the Genesee women's program after the Genesee men really laid the bubba beat down here on this game. 22-4 is going to be the final score as of right now. Had the goalkeeper for the Cougars was sitting down, and he immediately stood back up because I'm pretty sure his coach saw that and probably yelled at him. Dennis Rodman did that one time in an NBA game, and the other team came down on the side and got into a fight with him. I don't think we're going to see that here this afternoon, though. Just under 2 minutes left here in the contest, and the two teams are back now at even strength as the penalty is over for the Knights, but the game is not yet over. The Cougars are trying to make that change as they're holding on to this ball, and I'm assuming they're going to want to try and hold on to this ball for as long as they can. I don't think they want to give the ball back to the Knights, or they almost did. Very close to being able to get that ball back into their offensive zone, but the Knights are able to get possession of it. Spin by Shelfie. Shelfie trying to find somebody. Oh, man, he's got a guy right on the other side. He just didn't see him. Man, he had his teammate, number 7, Cooper Wildberger. He had him right there. Cooper was ready for the pass. Joshua Shelfie just didn't see him, and now with a minute left, here's Dakota Lyons. Ross, the shot. He was looking for his third goal of the game. He doesn't get it. Nice save there by the Cougars. And a turnover. Lyons scoops it up. 40 seconds left here. And another turnover. Cougars will take possession, and I think that'll probably be the final possession of the game for the Knights. As once the ref blows the whistle, there's only going to be 35 seconds left, and the Cougars and take their sweet time here unless they turn it over. They'll get that ball into the offensive zone and now just hold on to it for the next 20 seconds, and they will be walking away here victorious in a very lopsided contest. But even though the scoreboard reads 22-4, there was stretches in this game where this game was a lot more competitive than the scoreboard would lead you to believe. The Knights never rolled over, never played dead here in this game. They fought hard all the way through. Some great goalie play here in this one from both teams, but only one team can be victorious, and that'll be the team in the yellow jerseys, as the final score here in this one is 22-4. The Genesee Cougars are victorious. I'm Aaron Thomas on the call. Thank you for joining us. Hope you can join us for Game 2 as the Genesee Cougars women go against the CCBC Essex Knights women's team. That tip-off should be around 2:30. We'll see you then.